One of my earliest memories at the club was with Fela. I think it was 1987 or 88. I think Liam Wall and Ransbottom were over the team. And we hosted the club from Tyrone. They arrived in matching tracksuits and tops, and they just looked, I remember them looking, they looked amazing altogether. And I think we all marched through Burr town, I think it was. And we had these black and green and yellow hooped jerseys, the same as what Glen Rovers have. And it was just I just remember it being a very special occasion anyway, and a good start. A long time ago now. I remember the reason I got my first run on the junior hurling team. I think Martin Waugh was playing full forward and he was getting butchered and chopped as was the style in them days, but he wasn't getting any frees, he'd been fouled the whole time, but because he wasn't falling, he wasn't getting any frees. So it was decided right in front of me by the management team to put me on, because I'd surely fall over and you'd get a few frees maybe. So in I went like a lamb to the slaughter. I'm pretty sure we lost that game as well. The Ballapicus tournaments, another great memory from the early years. I think we won the medal at home from 1992, I think. But the clang of the ball off the chicken wire nets was a sound that you had to hear. I remember Liam Wall scoring a sideline puck from one side of the pitch and going over a few minutes later and scoring one from the other side, long before it was fashionable. I think I remember the 1994 hurling intermediate championship. We had to play the semi-final and the final in 1995 in the middle of winter. I remember training, running around the roads in Rathnesca with a car behind us, the lights on to show us where we were going. I don't remember now, but I'm sure we had a car in front of us as well. I think Denis Brennan, my brother, was captain that year. He also won man of the match, the Brillo. He had a fantastic year that year, before and after. I think by the time we'd moved to the pitch in Rathnesca, football side of it had fallen back a bit. We were back playing intermediate. I think we'd lost a lot of the big lads. Of course, the three boys walking out in the club didn't help either. It was early in the year anyway. We didn't have a trainer got, and Joe said he'd look after us till we got somebody. Joe was a huge figure around the place and a huge loss to the club, to the locality, and not to mention his family, of course. I think he could come up with anything, could say anything at any stage, which made him all the more likeable. But we were training one Friday, and there was loads of cars around the church, but there was only 10 or 12 of us there training. We were talking out in the hall just down from the church, and Joe was getting anxious to get going, and there wasn't an awful lot there, and we were wondering how there was so many cars and so few people. And somebody eventually said it was the first Friday, and Joe had enough of it at this stage, and he says, sort of, first Friday was last Sunday, and we're going out to train, and anyone that's not here can go home. And now he went through the door, and there was sort of a stunned silence for a while, wondering, did we actually hear that? And she bursted out laughing, and it was just another great memory from the old days. I had the privilege, I suppose, of playing senior football with the club for 5 or 6 years. We had a lot of big men playing with us then, the likes of Liam Green and Brendan Delaney, Charlie Keegan, and of course the Brillo as well. We used to go to the Club All Irelands, and probably we used to play a challenge match every so often up there as well. And I remember one year we were back in the pub after the match, and Skinny was looking at Charlie Keegan up and down, and eventually he said, Jesus, Keegan, you should be ashamed of yourself. If I had your body, I'd be playing for Leinster. and I don't doubt that he would.